We are joined right now via Skype by two really hilarious autism moms. Eric and Lisa are with us from their blog is laughingthroughtears.com. And if you have not read their blog, you need to stop doing what you're doing and go and read their blog because it is, I promise you, you're going to get a laugh. They're two very funny women. So welcome to Autism Live, Erica and Lisa. There you are. Hi.
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 So thrilled to have you guys. And the subtitle on your blog, you have Laughing Through Tears. I'm reading it. 2 women, 4 autism diagnosis, many cocktails.
Yes.
Right.
So keeping the sense of humor. Tell us, first of all, because each one of you has 2 kids, tell us about your kids for just a second. And introduce yourselves so that they know which is which.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lisa, and I have 2 boys, both diagnosed. Michael is 9. He is, I like to call him retro autism, whereas Eric is really more new age autism. You know, it's kind of a vintage thing. Yeah, Michael's a little more on the severe end of the spectrum. Eric is our one verbal token child.
Okay.
So you know, he's kind of awesome because he can interpret what all the other kids are saying. He sort of speaks the language, which is kind of awesome.
Okay, awesome. And Lisa?
Oh, I'm Erica.
Oh, Erica,
I have
sorry.
7-year-old twins, identical twin boys, and they both have classic autism.
Okay. And so you two did not know each other before your kids were diagnosed with autism.
Yeah.
But you were saying during the break you guys met at a support group. Tell us about that.
Right. Well, Erica actually is a founding member of a local group that we put together. And basically it started out with a couple of moms who sat back and said, hey, wouldn't it be nice to sit back and have a glass of wine with other moms who get it and maybe not talk about autism for 20 minutes? And so they circulated flyers throughout all the early intervention schools, and we got a local group together, and that's how Erica and I met.
And then at what point did the 2 of you sit there and say, you know what, we should write a blog together? How did that happen?
You want me to? Okay. I'll just do all the talking. It's cool. Yeah, let's see. Well, you know, when you're stuck home, especially when your kids are littler and you're stuck home, it's really isolating. And so we discovered, hey, the way we could actually have social lives was through social media. And Facebook chat became our new lifeline and best friend. And so, you know, we could stay home and we could watch our kids and we could take care of everything. And at the same time, we could have, you know, a little chat window open and, you know, have a social life.
Yeah.
And so instead of, because, you know, we can't be on the phone or anything because, you know, we constantly juggle. So instead we would just have a chat room open and have a conversation whenever we could get to it. And then we realized our conversations were kind of funny. And then, you know, the kids went to bed and we had a couple glasses of wine and we wondered if maybe they would be funny enough that other people would find them funny.
And they are funny, ladies. Your posts are hilarious. You have both of you have a wonderful turn of phrase that is very uplifting and hilarious and truthful. You know, whenever we feature bloggers on here, one of the words that I always say is truthful and honest because that's what hits home. I can read one of your blogs and laugh and maybe have a sniffle in the same blog because it's honest. It's to the bone honest, which I really appreciate. Were either of you, what were your lives before autism? Were either of you comedians? What were you, writers? What was the story?
I think we both dabbled a little bit with writing.
Yeah. Oh, look, here's our agent.
Oh. Got a cat at that top.
Love it. The agent.
He has special needs also, so it's all good.
Of course.
No, I don't think that we were,
I was a nurse.
I was a teacher.
Okay.
So,
well,
yeah.
that takes a sense of humor.
Yeah.
It definitely does. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit specifically. Right now, you've got a blog, Oh, Antarctica, because you got a little bit of a push. What are you trying to do with Antarctica?
Do you have anybody in Antarctica?
I was going through my memory bank thinking, do I know anybody in Antarctica or do I know anybody who knows anybody? But maybe somebody watching knows somebody in Antarctica. Tell our viewers why you want to know somebody in Antarctica right now.
Well, we have readers on every continent, and that's pretty cool. Well, except for that one.
Except for Antarctica. Okay.
There's people there.
And so you just need
the internet.
So you just need one person on the continent of Antarctica to click on your site for what, 10 seconds?
Sure.
And then you'll be on every continent.
On the actual blog, not the Facebook
Okay,
page.
on the blog, which again is laughingthroughtears.com. All right, so if anybody out there watching knows anybody in Antarctica, this is what your big push is right now. Now, I have
petitions to. Yeah.
We just got one person in Antarctica.
We're not that
on our
deep.
blog.
Okay. I have actually referenced you guys before on the blog because when you guys did the blog about the top 5 reasons not to piss off an autism mom, I was in tears laughing. But I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. I kind of want to post it on my car and take it with me so that when I go to places, I can say to people, read this and get back to me. It's absolutely wonderful, and you had a huge response to it. For anybody who hasn't read it, go to their site and read it, but which one of you wrote that blog?
I wrote that one.
Okay, so tell us, was there really an event in a bookstore that spurred that?
There really was an event in the bookstore.
I love it.
It wasn't my proudest moment.
Okay. I'm sure I can relate. What happened in the bookstore?
Oh, gosh. There was my son saw something in the coffee shop that was attached to the bookstore that he really wanted, and he wanted it really loudly. And I was doing my best to get him to want it a little quieter. And this woman that I don't think liked any children, let alone spectrum-y children, made some unkind comments. And I'm not proud of some of the comments I made back.
We've all had that moment, though, and I think it's one of those things we all have to accept that sometimes I know I've been in a circumstance where somebody has gotten the entire wrath for every person who has ever said anything to me in that one moment focused on their forehead. So, you're in good company. I, too, have said things that I wished I have not said to people, and I think a lot of people out there have done that. So, and then as a result, you decided to write the blog about it?
That was actually, I didn't write the blog as an immediate response. It had happened a little while ago. It takes me a little while to process things sometimes, which is why I update so infrequently. But no, I think one of the coolest things about that particular blog was that we did get this huge response, like almost immediately that thing was going crazy. And I think that it's just a sign of how disenfranchised autism moms and dads, everyone got mad at me for leaving the dads off, but I think it's just kind of a sign about how disenfranchised that we feel, because we do get cut off and isolated, even, from the friends that we used to have, from the family members that even if they're there and trying to be supportive, maybe don't always get it.
Yeah.
And I think that it was just sort of like a cathartic release for everybody who got to see it and maybe, laugh and realize that they weren't completely alone on their little islands.
Yeah, well, I thought it was brilliant, and I wish that everybody in the world would read it because it's funny enough that maybe somebody would get it. Somebody who doesn't have a child with autism could read it and go, okay, maybe I get this a little bit, and maybe they would cut our kids and us some slack. Now, there was another blog that you guys, there have been plenty of blogs that have been absolutely wonderful, and I hate to just pick two, but you had one that was a hilarious chart about the differences between the DSM-4 and the DSM-5. And so if your child has this diagnosis, you could follow through a bunch of blocks to see where you're going to end up on the DSM-5, and it was really hilarious. Which one of you wrote that blog?
Well, we worked on that one together.
That was collaborative.
And what was the genesis for that one? Why did that come about?
Well, there were just so many people getting in an uproar about what this thing that wasn't even going to come out for another year was going to entail. And it just seemed like people were just really freaking out.
Yeah.
And the article that they kept referencing was an interview with somebody who left the project very, very early and clearly had an axe to grind and was very interested in flaming things. And we just thought everybody should just take a minute and chill and just wait and see before they took to the internet and Twitter and everywhere else
And so what is the title of that blog so people can go and take a look at it? Because it's about calming down.
DSM hysteria or calm the hell down, people. I think
it's a long one.
It's a long one, yeah. And I know I experienced the same thing, that I, of course, had trepidation and feelings about it when the studies came out. There was the whole article in New York Times about none of our children are going to have a diagnosis anymore as a result of this. And then as the dust all settled, we all realized we don't really know yet.
Exactly.
We haven't really seen it. Since then we've seen what the current writing of it was, but even now it's changed and we haven't been able to see it again. So, but isn't it amazing how quickly they can stir us all up into a tizzy, how quickly.
It just takes one person to post about it and 5 people to forward it, and next thing you know, it's complete pandemonium.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
And we like making fun of people like that.
Well, that's a good pastime because my husband has a T-shirt that's from an autism organization that says, "If you think my hands are full, you should really check out my heart." And I can only imagine that with the 4 of you with 4 children on the autism spectrum, that your hands are full.
That's for sure.
We hear that a lot.
and I'm sure, though, and it's evident in your blogs and in talking to you, that your hearts are even more full. Because in everything that you guys write, it's evident that you care deeply. As funny as you are, you care deeply about your kids, and you care deeply about them getting the help and support that they need. And I really appreciate that as an autism mom.
Oh, thank you. That's nice to hear.
We're glad that comes through.
It absolutely does. So for viewers who have not seen your blog before, where do you want to send them to? Do you want them to go to your Facebook page, your blog, or both? What's the best place for them to go to?
We're funniest on Facebook.
Okay.
Because we, in addition to the big blogs, we put out lots of little things because we're too lazy to write the full ones. So if you find Laughing Through Tears on Facebook, that's where we're funniest.
I don't think I'm friends with you on Facebook. I'm going to fix that today. I'm going to fix that today. But because I've seen the blog before. But okay, so Facebook, and so it's Laughing Through Tears on Facebook?
Yeah, it's Laughing Through Tears on Facebook. And then, yeah, the website is laughingthroughtears.com. And we're LTT Twits on Twitter, but we don't know how to use Twitter.
Well, nobody answers us.
I was talking about this earlier because we had Shelley Hendricks from Autism Votes on yesterday, and today is October Surprise. I don't know if you guys have gotten the emails about it yet, but we're all supposed to be tweeting today at our different politicians to get them to, we want autism to be a part of the discussion. And Shelley was saying that autism moms are not as much of a presence on Twitter. And I said, well, I'm trying, but I don't really get it either. Maybe we need to have like an autism mom Twitter conference so somebody can explain it to all of us. Because apparently we need to be more of a presence there in order to be heard. So maybe we can all do that together.
Yeah, okay.
We'll find one mom who gets it and have her explain it to all of us.
There are a few moms over on Twitter. We just, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not the most technically savvy of people.
Nor I. Facebook is easier. Well,
character restriction.
Oh, yeah.
But so having to speak in a short sentence is hard for me. But so tell us again where we can find you on Twitter.
LTT Twits.
LTT Twits. Okay, great. I thank you ladies so much, and I hope that you'll check back with us in the future. Let us know what you guys have going on, and we wish you and your children the best.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Take care.